Speaker, naomba hii itakuwa na macho wakati huo.
Ladies will now be played, and the Premier alone will acknowledge the salute. Parade, General Salute! Salute! Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier will be joined by the Acting Provincial Commissioner and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner to inspect the ceremonial guard of honor. Ladies and gentlemen, the official march past by the Guard of Honor as the final compliment will now take place. Only the Premier will acknowledge this salute. Ladies and gentlemen, the SAPS Mpumalanga band is under the baton of Captain Ndlovu. Followed by Platoon number 1, which is under the command of Captain Shabalala. Number 2 platoon, which is under the command of Captain Marco. Followed by platoon number 3, which is under the command of Transport Inspector Muela. Our 4th and final platoon, which is under the command of Provincial Inspector Matsane. Ladies and gentlemen, the Premier will now descend the podium, joined by the Speaker, the Acting Provincial Commissioner, and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, led by the aide-de-camp to the chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of our program, and I hope you will enjoy the proceedings of the day further. I will be handing back over to Mr. Masemola, our program director for the day. I thank you. Ndlovu.
Dunankulu wa xifundzankulu xa Mpumalanga, Mandla Ndlovu, ha tinyungubyisa hi wena, mintirho ya wena ha yi vona hi tlhela hi yi tsakela. Xikolo xa Godide ku tsanile ka xona ha xi vona. Ndzi vula wena wo rhandziwa hi vanhu lavakulu xikan'we na lavatsongo. Wena wo xixima tihosi hinkwato ta la Mpumalanga. Wena u nga kuma xidlodlo xo xixima tihosi kusuka eka Khonsalesa. Ndzi dzunisa wena muvhumbi wa nhluvuko etikweni, mutsimeki wa dyondzo ni ikhonomi. Ndlopfu leyi kandziyaka misava yi twakala swinene. Ndzi vula mina veka tindlopfu a tiluvani, tiluvana hi micila mandzengeni. Mandla, matimba, vito ra wena ri vula swona leswi nga xiswona. U matimba yo aka, matimba yo sirhelela. Gaceni, vaengenyati, va nga tshikelwayo, ina va nga swihlopi, swi hlayekaya, ku va swela valusi. Gaceni, halala Mpumalanga halala. Halala Mpumalanga halala. Tidomanda ndzi vuyelela eka wena, nena ya le Silington, Khokhovela, Bushbuckridge, nena ya Mthongolo. Halala Gaceni halala. Halala Sopo 2026 halala.
I'd like to acknowledge the following dignitaries: the Deputy Minister for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, Ms. S. Chikunga, the Deputy Minister of Basic Education, Dr. Regina Mhaule and partner, the Deputy Minister of Water and Sanitation, Mr. David Mahlolo, the Deputy Minister of Correctional Service, Ms. Lindiwe Mtshali, the Deputy Minister of Small Business Development, Ms. Jane Sithole, the Deputy Speaker of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Mr. Sam Masana, the Leader of Government Business and MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Honorable S.K. Mashidi, the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Fidel Ndlovu, the Deputy Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Desmond Munera, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party in the Legislature, Honorable Eva Makavani, leaders of political parties represented in the Legislature, the Consul General of Mozambique to Mpumalanga and Limpopo, Mr. Cristavio Josias da Glorio Gemo, the Acting Judge President of the Mpumalanga Division of High Court of South Africa, Justice Vincent Rachivumbu, the Acting Deputy Judge President of the Mpumalanga Division of the High Court of South Africa, Justice Lindiwe Vukeya, the Judge of the Mpumalanga Division of the High Court of South Africa, Honorable Justice Brian Mashile, Regional Court President, Ms. Naomi Engelbrecht, Chief Magistrate Nelspruit, Ms. Tule Tu Tojeni, members of the National Council of Provinces, members of the Executive Council, members of the Provincial Legislature, the President of Contralesa and Chairperson of the Mpumalanga House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Khoshi Lamek Mukwena. Leader of Delegation to National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Inkosi KN Mkhacho. Deputy Chairperson of Mpumalanga House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Inkosi MT Yende. Member of the Executive Mpumalanga House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Inkosi TP Mtetwa. Representatives of Chapter 9 institutions. The Acting Provincial Commissioner of the South African Police Service in Mpumalanga, Major General Dr. Zef Mkhwanazi. The Executive Mayor of the City of Mbombela Local Municipality, Councillor Sibongile Makushe Mazibuko. Executive Mayors of the District and Local Municipalities. Speakers of the District and Local Municipalities. Chief Whips of the District and Local Municipalities. The ANC Provincial Secretary, Comrade Muzi Chirwa, and all officials and alliance partners present. Former speakers of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Mr. S.W. Libisi, Mrs. B.T. Shongwe, Mrs. B.P. Shiba. Former Deputy Speakers of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, Mr. P.J. Nobunga, Dr. B.D. Dube, Mrs. J.L. Tabete Mfuking. The Secretary to the Legislature, Mr. Hubert Shabang. The Director General of Mpumalanga Province, Ms. Meki Skosana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Section 127, subsection 2D of the Constitution of the Republic
Honorable Speaker.
of South Africa.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mkabela.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I think you have forgotten to greet a special someone, the HOD for Safety and Security. We are greeting you from the benches of the EFF, ma. Sawubona.
Of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa provides that the Premier is responsible for summoning the legislature to an extraordinary sitting to conduct special business. Rule 9, subsection 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga legislature provides that the Speaker must inform the legislature of the time and the date on which the Premier must deliver the State of the Province address. And the House proceedings must be suspended until the Premier has delivered the State of the Province address, unless the Speaker, in consultation with the Premier, decides otherwise. Honorable members, in accordance with Section 127, subsection 2D of the Constitution and Rule 9, subsection 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, I have received a request from the Honorable Premier to convene this special sitting of the legislature to enable him to deliver the State of the Province address. I have acceded to the request. I now have the pleasure of inviting the Honorable Premier of Mpumalanga Province, Honorable MP Ndlovu, to deliver the State of the Province address.
Hayi gogo hitasifona kaya. Speaker of the Mpumalanga Legislature, Honorable Makosazana Masilela.
Oh, Coco, whoa. So right.
Speaker, ubokhuza phela. Angisho la
Akusethe ingomenda.
Une rule book phela la.
Mana
There's a rule book that you must follow here. You don't do as you wish. There's a rule. Use the rule book.
Honorable members, let us conduct ourselves according to the
Ba-assistant
rules and
Honorable
I need to
members,
have
say
got all
it straight.
people.
Mama lemuva thina senzeni.
It's fine. I'm assist pair.
You don't answer, don't respond, Premier.
Honorable Mkabela,
when
can you
ufunza
please not
speech
interrupt the Honorable
Don't
Premier?
respond.
Speaker of the Mpumalanga Legislature, Honorable
Makosazana Masilele, Deputy Speaker of Mpumalanga Legislature, Naile Walk, Honorable Sem Masango, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, our Honorable MECs, Judge President of the High Court of Mpumalanga, Judge Pahlele, esteemed members of the Judiciary, the Acting Provincial Police Commissioner, Dr. General Z. Mkwanazi, Honorable Minister and Deputy Ministers that are here today. I know that Minister Cindy Chikunga is here. He's not a Deputy Minister, Honorable Speaker. He's a Minister. Honorable members of the National Assembly, honorable members of the National Council of Provinces, Executive Mayor of the City of Mbombela Local Municipality, Councillors Bongile Makushamazubuka, and all executive mayors and councillors that are here, Chairperson of the Provincial House of Traditional Leaders, and Khoisan, who's also a President of Contra Lesa, Hoshi Mukwen, chairpersons and board members of our parastatals, Director General of Mpumalanga Province, Ms. Megis Kosana, Secretary of the Legislature, Mr. Hubert Shabangu, all senior government officials, the Provincial Secretary of the Governing Party, Comrade Muzi Chirwa, a member of the ANC Veterans League and a successful businesswoman, Umake Nora Fakude, leaders of the Tripartite Alliance, leaders of the opposition parties, leaders of our social partners, big business and small business, and the informal sector, non-governmental organizations and religious organizations, leaders of institutions of high learning, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, sanbonani, dumelang, avshe, loshan. Madam Speaker, I stand before you as one of many leaders who were raised and nurtured by their grandmothers. Today, I am especially proud and deeply grateful that my own grandmother is present in these proceedings. After undergoing a cataract operation and successfully regaining her eyesight, she is able to witness this moment with us. Her presence is not only a personal blessing, but a powerful reminder of the strength, sacrifice, and resilience of the women who shape our lives and our nation. Ngwamadizi, Wana Shobiana Mnisi, na Treya, na Munhla ukona, awunivonika TV, nasona awunitwi voice. Mzana liya yame unga tsamuinyika vitu kustahela serile. Our provincial legislature and municipal council remain stable and focused on their mandate. We extend our sincere appreciation to all political parties for deploying honorable public representatives who remain steadfast in thoughtful deliberation and rigorous intellectual engagement. Their commitment to critical thinking and constructive debate strengthen our democracy and enhances the quality of governance in our province. I stand before you today to give an account that Mpumalanga government is hard at work in building a society where our people are completely free from the shackles of poverty and have food to eat. These include action taken to fulfill commitment arising from the historic Cliptown gathering 71 years ago, where ordinary citizens of all races united for a common cause produced an extraordinary document of principles, and they called it the Freedom Charter. We have no doubt that after this account, people will realize that we are indeed hard at work and embrace Mohammed Mamdam's view that their government cannot be accused of lacking the courage to try, even though it is not yet Uhuru. Madam Speaker, I would like to share a scripture from the Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 4, verse 9, echoed in Matthew, chapter 11, verse 9. Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear. Iza nendlebe, mina ngiza nendaba. Madam Speaker, allow me to congratulate the class of 2025 matriculants who have made us proud with an overall pass rate of 86.55%, an encouraging improvement from last year's 84.99%. The target for this academic year from 86.55%, MEC, add extra 5%. I know this is what you promised me, that your target is 91%. Your target is not my target. Together with the schools that attain 100%, our target will remain 100%. But I accept your target of 91%. Our top achiever, Mandla Ndlovu. Behind a successful girl, there is a father. This one is my daughter, Mandla Ndlovu, from Elangwana Secondary School in Forkras, under the Piklika Sakaseme municipality in the Gersebane district, has secured a place among the top 40 achievers national. We are truly proud of Luyanda and the many learners who excelled in their matric examinations. As we celebrate their success, we remain mindful of the persistent challenges of access to tertiary institutions that many still face. As government, we continue working tirelessly to expand post-school education and training opportunities, firm in our belief that education is the surest pathway to a better future and broader life choices. Madam Speaker, on a sober note, I extend my heartfelt condolences on behalf of the people of Mpumalanga to all those who lost their loved ones during the recent floods that engulfed our nation. We also convey our deepest sympathies to the families and friends of those who tragically lost their lives in road accidents across our province during the festive season. In these moments of grief, we stand united in compassion and solidarity with every affected family. Our province and a country also lost a leader, a gentle giant, former Deputy President, Honorable Didi Mabuza, the Kate, Suksha Manje, Ufa Manje. This week, the country also lost a freedom fighter, one of the Delmas treason trialists, Comrade Terra Likota. To all the grieving families, akwehlanga lungehlanga. Madam Speaker, we are guided by the Freedom Charter, which serves as a pillar of our Constitution and the cornerstone of our democracy, driving government efforts to eradicate poverty, unemployment, and underdevelopment. Our provincial economy is gradually growing. Unemployment started declining. Poverty rate and levels of inequality have declined significantly. Inflation is at its lowest in many years. We are continuously recording an increase in metric pass rate. Bachelor degree passes increased to 28,610, demonstrating an increase in the quality of our education. The rand is stronger than the dollar in 20 years, meaning we pay less for imports. For the first time in our history, 27 doctors are now permanently placed in local clinics. This is our story. This is our story. This is our song worth sharing with the people of Mpumalanga. Does this mean all is perfect? Can we say all is well? No, not at all. We have not yet reached the promised land. It means we must roll up our sleeves, put our shoulders to the wood, and work harder than before. What we see is the light at the end of the tunnel, not an oncoming train, but a beacon of hope towards a brighter future. The road to economic freedom is arduous, but we are prepared, well equipped, and ready to walk it. We have a reason to celebrate as Mpumalanga. We have successfully hosted several G20 events during South Africa's presidency, putting our province on the map and boosting tourism prospects. These events addressed environment and climate sustainability, development, just energy transition, critical for a coal-produced province with 12 of the 14 coal-fired power stations, research and innovation, anti-corruption, and tourism. They contributed significantly to local tourism, generating income for hospitality industry and small business sectors. All these events were hosted at Kruger National Park to showcase our biodiversity and commitment to conservation. Madam Speaker, this year we commemorate important milestone in our political history. These events changed the course of history and shaped our journey to the democracy we enjoy today. 70 years ago, over 20,000 women of all races marched to Pretoria against past laws. Their courage reminds us that women played a foundational role in our liberation. It reminds us that gender equality is not just a symbolic gesture. It is a moral obligation, a human right, and essential to improving life. This year, we'll commemorate the life and legacy of former Mozambican President Samora Machel. Together with the government of Mozambique, we'll host the 40th commemoration of his passing in Mbuzini. This occasion will not only honor his contribution to the liberation of our region, but also reaffirm the enduring bonds of solidarity and friendship between our two nations. Again this year, we will also proudly celebrate the centenary of the Kruger National Park through a series of campaigns. We will highlight how this iconic park has positively transformed the lives of surrounding communities and strengthened our province tourism industry. 50 years ago, on June 16, Soweto's youth led a historic march against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction and demanded an end to Bantu education designed to limit black youth to unskilled labor. As Oliver Tambo reminded us, the children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, or a person that does not value its youth does not deserve its future. It is against this backdrop that the ANC-led government worked tirelessly to address youth unemployment through various programs like the Premier's Youth Development Fund, benefiting over 280 youth-owned enterprises to the tune of 358 million rand. Our expanded public works program provide much-needed income and work experiences. Agricultural initiative targeting youth and women, the Youth Employment Service, and the Presidential Employment Stimulus, all of them bring relief to unemployment challenges. As we commemorate this event, we must remember our history, uphold our constitutional obligation, and unite across racial lines, age, and status to build a better Mpumalanga, better South Africa, and better world. The State of the Province Address outlines the action that we have taken since our 2025 SOPA and the steps we intend taking for the next 12 months to advance the strategic priorities of our government. In 2024, during the national and provincial elections, people from Mpumalanga gave us a mandate to form government and fulfill their aspirations, which are contained in our election manifesto and the government's strategic priorities. Let us remind ourselves that these priorities are: firstly, to drive inclusive growth and job creation. Secondly, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living. Thirdly, to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. Today, I stand before this august house not only to give an account of the progress made in addressing these priorities, but also to call upon all of us to work together in building a Mpumalanga province that stands firmly upon the foundation we have laid since the dawn of our democracy. Madam Speaker, we need to consolidate our efforts, work towards a common vision, forged through dialogue, through partnership with all our stakeholders, and through an honest and frank reflection on the lessons learned. We must not shy away from honest reflection. We must acknowledge our shortcomings, confront our mistakes, and work diligently to correct them, improving wherever we have fallen short. Madam Speaker, the recent arrest of several government officials and business people on allegations of corruption, fraud, and money laundering demonstrate that government is taking a firm and uncompromising stance against corruption. As government, we fully support the work of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, the Hawks, and any other law enforcement agency, and will fully cooperate with investigations aimed at rooting out corruptions. Madam Speaker, a Chinese proverb says that a single tree falling makes a loud noise that everyone hears, while millions of trees grow in silence, but they still grow. This reminds us that a single minor mistake by government can draw widespread attention, while the many quiet successes that improve lives every day often go unnoticed. The year 2025 was a seminal year for South Africa and Mpumalanga's economy. Despite global volatility, we saw a progress reflected in provincial economic indicators. The economy is growing again by more than 1%. Unemployment is declining. Poverty and inequality are lower than a decade ago, and inflation is at its lowest in years. Challenges remain: logistic, infrastructure, skills, and creating enabling environment at municipal level. But new hope and optimism are emerging across Mpumalanga. The highly successful Mpumalanga Investment and Mining Conference in October 2025 showcased our province as a destination of choice for investors. Of the 238 billion rand investment commitments, 25 billion has been signed off, focusing on the green economy. This marks a significant turning point and a major boost for the provincial economy. South Africa's growth looks steadier, expanding for 5 consecutive quarters, the longest unbroken growth phase since 2018, benefiting Mpumalanga directly. Provincial growth for 2026 is projected at 1.3%, with an average of 2% per annum from 2027 to 2029. Catalytic projects in these sectors will positively impact job creation, reduction of poverty, and the level of inequality, bringing our medium-term development plan target of 3% growth within reach. Statistics South Africa quarterly labor force survey for fourth quarter of 2025 shows Mpumalanga's employment at 1.28 million, the highest on record, reflecting net job gains of 37,420, the second highest national. Gains were notable in construction and trade, with 5 of 6 quarters in 2024, 25 recording net employment growth. Manufacturing losses remain a concern and must be addressed. We must keep our eye on the MTDP target of at least 60,000 new jobs per year. In 2025, Mpumalanga created 28,717 jobs, almost 50% of this target, requiring stronger performance in coming years. Industries with high job creation potential include agriculture and agro-processing, construction, trade, including tourism and micro, small and medium enterprises, finance, and business services. Provincial unemployment rate fell to 32.3% in the fourth quarter of 2025, improving our ranking to 4th lowest national. The provincial MTDP target of 25% unemployment is achievable with higher growth and sustained job creation efforts. Female unemployment and youth unemployment remain unacceptably high. despite notable improvements, ensuring that young people acquire relevant qualifications and practical skills is critical to reducing graduate unemployment, which currently stands at 14.4%. Madam Speaker, the property sector is one of the largest and most powerful economic engines in the country. Yet, despite its scale and resilience, the sector has remained largely untransformed and inaccessible to previously disadvantaged individuals. In the spirit of transformation and alleviating youth unemployment in Mpumalanga, we'll be entering into a memorandum of understanding with the Property Practitioner Regulatory Authority and service sector to embark on a real estate training and placement program that will be implemented to equip participants with industry-relevant knowledge, practical competencies, and placement opportunities within the property sector. The program aims to address unemployment, promote entrepreneurship, and increase participation in the real estate industry. 200 job opportunities will be created in the first cohort to be recruited at the beginning of the 2026-27 financial year. We want to thank the property practitioners, regulatory authority leadership, and the Minister of Human Settlement for partnering with Mpumalanga Province in this program. The service sector contributed 5 million rand towards education in our province, enabling us to award 50 learners bursaries of 100,000 each for the 2026 academic year. Madam Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the private sector, particularly our mining companies, for their contribution to the province, especially in the education sector. We have received numerous donations, and these efforts do not go unnoticed. Stats SA Poverty Trends Report shows South Africa's lower bound poverty line improved by 8.8% between 2015 and 2023 to 37.9%. Mpumalanga recorded the second largest improvement among provinces. Lower bound poverty line dropped by 12.7%. from 51.1% to 38.4%, ranking fourth lowest national. Madam Speaker, this is a clear indication that our efforts and intervention in the reduction of poverty are working. Income inequality measurement national has improved, moving towards the National Development Plan target of 0.60 by 2030. Mpumalanga recorded the best provincial income inequality measurement, commonly known as Gini coefficient, at 0.541. The National Income Dynamic Study confirmed that education and training improve employability with higher qualification, often leading to better paying jobs. Tourism remains a key economic and job driver. Mpumalanga is South Africa's second most visited province by both international and domestic tourists due to our world-renowned fauna and flora, mainly by the tourists from SADC countries. Madam Speaker, from the outset, we identified infrastructure as a catalyst for socio-economic growth. Investment in infrastructure drives jobs directly through construction and maintenance, and indirectly by enhancing productivity and lowering business costs. It creates temporary employment during construction while supporting permanent jobs in industries that use the infrastructure. Infrastructure also improves mobility for rural and local communities, help informal and small businesses reach market, and facilitate travel for school children and citizens. This extends beyond productive sectors like agriculture to essential socio-economic infrastructure, including health facilities, schools, electricity, water and sanitation, roads, transport network, and ICT systems. In the past year, Mpumalanga invested around 2.5 billion on road infrastructure, spanning urban and rural areas. Our roads network is like arteries carrying the lifeblood of the province, connecting urban and rural communities, Gauteng, Pompo, KZN, and neighboring countries, Mozambique and Eswatini, enabling economic and social activity. While transitioning to clean energy, our economy remains reliant on coal mines and coal power stations, requiring upgrades and maintenance of coal haulage roads. As the province, we affirm that coal will coexist with green energy. This is very important that the people of South Africa must know that as Mpumalanga, we are saying coal will coexist with green energy. We will continue to monitor progress on coal haulage projects. The Emalahleni and Three Copies Bridge are under design and planning phase. We are making progress in upgrading our tourist access roads. For example, Cottondale to Manyeleti route. 2 of the 6 phases have already been completed. Under the Kupunyel Tool program, a significant number of potholes were patched, roads re-gravelled, and graded throughout the province to promote access, especially in local municipalities. The partnership between government and the private sector on rehabilitating road P171-1 between Mashishing and Roseneka's Kukuna and the Oliphant River Lodge Phase 1 project are progressing very well. Madam Speaker, since December last year, torrential rains, thunderstorm and lightning severely affected Mpumalanga, Limpopo and parts of Mozambique. As a result, in our province, we lost 20 people, 2,507 private properties, including homes, were affected, leaving more than 200 households in need of emergency shelter. More than 130 SMEs, in particular those in the tourism sector, were severely affected, impacting on more than 800 jobs. Public infrastructure, including roads, bridges, water, networks, schools, libraries, health facilities, suffered extensive damage. Most affected areas in Mpumalanga include Nkomazi, Bushbuckridge, the city of Mbombela, and Tabachweyo. Number of oversight visits were undertaken by various executive authorities, including the President of the Republic of South Africa, myself as the Premier of the province, MECs, ministers, and executive mayors, amongst others. All response interventions were successful with the support of several NGOs, such as the Gift of the Givers, Red Cross, Al-Maldad Foundation, including business such as Vodacom and Old Mutual, to name but a few. National government classified this disaster as a national disaster, unlocking resources for multi-sectoral relief and infrastructure rehabilitation. Government has begun with the work of restoring infrastructure. In some areas, emergency work has been completed. However, there is still much more work to be done. Whilst department and municipalities have adjusted their capital spending budget to accommodate emergencies, there is a shortfall of 5.9 billion. We want to request private sector to come and invest in our province. Working with the national government, we have started delivering temporary residential units targeting the most vulnerable households in Bushbuckridge and Komazi local municipalities. Roads that are requiring urgent attention because of disaster include D2296 between Carino and Tekwana South, D2962 and D2963 in Glenmore and Swallow Nest, various roads in Komazi and Bushbuckridge local municipalities. Our focus is building back better, creating climate resilient infrastructure capable of withstanding and recovering from shocks. This requires holistic planning across all spheres of government, the public and private sectors. Madam Speaker, we are pleased with progress on the Nkomazi Special Economic Zone. As the Chinese proverb suggests, many trees quietly grow into a forest without making noise. While progress is not yet visible to the naked eye, important work continues, finalizing designs for bulk water, electricity, and sewer system, engaging SANRAL and stakeholders on the N4 ring road configuration, collaborating with Infrastructure South Africa to unlock 1.2 billion for phase 1. In 2026-27, Mpumalanga Economic Regulator will focus on strengthening regulatory effectiveness, modernizing systems, and mitigating social harm from gambling and liquor trading. Tourism is our beacon of hope and a guiding light in the darkness. It drives employment, contributes to economic growth, and support livelihoods in urban, rural, and township areas. This initiative will expand our tourism offering and elevate Mpumalanga as a top destination. The God's Window Skywalk project progressed steadily. Bulk water supply upgraded, electrical installations underway, site established, and civil work commenced. Construction is expected to start this year. This initiative will expand our tourism offering and elevate Mpumalanga as a top destination. Agriculture remains a key strategic sector for Mpumalanga, while only contributing around 3% to provincial GDP compared to mining and manufacturing. It employs about 104,000 people, 12% of the total provincial employment. Young agripreneurship continues to yield tangible results. Some of the success stories of our young farmers include, amongst others, Lebu Mashiho, a poultry farmer in Tembisilehane that produces layers with 2 automated houses with 15,000 capacity each. Fikile Nkosi in Komazi produces and processes mushrooms. Lebu. Hey, this name, Lebu, it's a very significant name in Mpumalanga. So it means that if one day I'll get a granddaughter, I must give her the name Lebu. Lebu Ndlovu and Siso Shabalala in Chief Albert Litour produce broilers and layers. Benedict Mhlongo in Bushbuck Ridge produces vegetables. These young farmers are no longer peripheral participants. They are integrated into domestic and international markets. The province is building a new generation of commercial, compliant, and export-ready agricultural producers. We will continue with our Smart Agriculture Boxes program, ensuring food security and sustainable farming. To date, we have supported 20,000 households.
Honorable Malachi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you yourself. Honorable Speaker, I think you need to start applying the rules. I see the guests are participating, and on arrival here, we were threatened by removing our guests because they participated. So I think we need to apply the rules, including the ministers from Parliament. They are claiming and they are participating in the proceedings that are not their proceedings. Thank you very much. And this is not their parliament, it's our parliament, not yours.
I thought that I'm the only one that is participating today. You will have your day.
Let me remind honorable members, in terms of our rules, Rule 34, which is conduct in the House, subsection 12, members or members of the public may not sing or converse aloud in the chamber during a sitting, but public may clap hands. That is allowed. Honorable members, let us conduct ourselves according to the rules of the House. Today, they are guests. The ministers are guests. They are also in the public gallery. You must understand that. Honorable Sidibe. Honorable members, Honorable Trivi and Honorable Kabel, I reminded you about the rules. In fact, all members in the House about the conduct in the House. You must not converse aloud, as Rule 34, subsection 12. And Honorable Sidibe, I have ruled on the matter. Can the Honorable Premier proceed?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to thank members just for giving me just a break to pause for some few minutes. I'm now more energized. Recently, our economy has been affected by the foot and mouth disease impacting cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. Welcome the announcement by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa that foot and mouth disease will now be treated as a national disaster. The President always, when there is a state of uncertainty, he leads from the front. We are working closely with national government to assist farmers in navigating these challenges, working with the National Department of Agriculture. We have received a portion of 1 million vaccines and we are administering it. Our programs and campaign to control and manage animal disease will continue. We have successfully eradicated avian influenza in Khertsibande and Kangala, lifting the export ban on poultry product and restoring confidence in the sector. Mpumalanga Green Cluster Energy continue to do a good job in facilitating the transition of our economy from traditional industries into green economy revolution. A number of multi-billion rand green energy investment projects are in the pipeline, including solar power, wind power, and hydropower. Madam Speaker, solving complex socio-economic issues such as unemployment, poverty, inequality, gender-based violence, crime, and infrastructure is not a sole responsibility of government. It requires a collaborative, all-hands-on-deck approach by government, the private sector, labor, and civil society. We have signed a memorandum of agreement with the University of Mpumalanga to leverage its expertise, research capacity, and human capital for provincial priorities. This collaboration will promote, among others, sustainable agriculture, innovation and applied research, job creation and capacity building in health, education and conservation. A flagship initiative is the Hybrid Rice Project, a comprehensive industrial ecosystem driving employment and GDP growth. 1.2 million hectares are dedicated to hybrid rice cultivation, producing 14.4 million tons annually, with a projected turnover of 40.32 billion rand. This project alone will create at least 388,000 jobs across all phases. A remarkable story to share with the people of Mpumalanga. Other partnership programs with UMP will focus on advanced maize, sorghum, and vegetable production. Another partner, Seriti Green Social and Economic Development Portfolio, is committed to align its program with the Mpumalanga government priorities. Central to this commitment is enterprise development focused on supporting SMEs alongside structured entrepreneur program designed to catalyze sustainable job creation and broaden economic participation. Through their Agri for Change program, Seriti support emerging agricultural entrepreneurs with technical expertise, business development skills, and improved market access. The program has contributed to 41 permanent agricultural jobs and enabled measurable entrepreneurial growth. One participant secured, out of these 41, one participant secured 20 million rand in expansion funding comprising 8 million in grant capital and 12 million in concessional loan funding. This reflects the transformative potential of structured enterprise development when supported by financiers, mentors, and government partners. The company's partnership with local government extend into youth development and social cohesion. Seriti and Green is advancing South Africa's just energy transition through a delivery-focused model rooted in South African ownership, capital, and operational capability. To safeguard energy security, coal and renewable energy sources are being developed in parallel. This approach enables decarbonization, creates new economic opportunities and jobs, and ensures continuity for communities historically dependent on coal. Seriti Green, the renewable energy arm of the Seriti Group, has been in operation for 3 years and is currently constructing the 900 megawatt Umbila Emoyeni wind farm, with the first 155 megawatt phase scheduled for completion in mid-2026. Investment to date totals approximately 15 billion, with a further 25 billion rand planned over the next 2 years. Job creation remains central to the company's work. More than 1,700 jobs have been created, with 53% allocated to local residents within a 15-kilometer radius. Seriti Green is committed to build a tower that is 16-meter high with 5.5-meter diameter surrounding one of its turbines. The tower will be painted using the legend Gogo Estamatlangu's artwork. This will be one of the iconic features of the Seriti Green Umbila Emoyeni project under Sibande District Municipality, and will be the tourism attraction area for our province. Madam Speaker, our collaboration with Paradigm Shift, an engineering solution company based here in Mpumalanga, in hosting a water and sanitation conference, culminated in important resolutions taken, amongst others are: the private sector committed itself to investing in water and sanitation projects in the province, development of water and sanitation technology, and sharing it with our municipalities, and promotion of inclusion of women, youth, and persons with disability in issues related to water and sanitation. Government will follow up on this commitment and make sure that all parties work towards their fulfillment. Local government is the closest authority to the people, responsible for delivering daily social services such as water, electricity, sanitation, roads, and waste management. Despite challenges experienced in some areas, Stats SA figures confirm that the majority of our citizens do have access to basic services. Waste management remains particularly challenging, especially in rural communities. We must acknowledge that some communities do not always receive quality services, often due to aging infrastructure that can no longer function optimally, or population growth existing capacities. Technical capacity is another concern, as some municipalities lack the requisite skills to maintain infrastructure, compounded by insufficient maintenance budget. Municipalities often under budget for infrastructure upkeep. The provincial government has made a firm decision to intervene and assist municipalities facing difficulties. People don't know that there is local government, that there is provincial and national government. They just know government as one. So together with our municipalities, we are going to give services to our people. Our municipalities are now conducting skills audit to identify administrative and technical gaps. To address water challenges, we are collaborating with the Department of Water and Sanitation to minimize backlog across the province. Low-scope bulk water scheme is nearing completion at 90% construction status. Once completed, the residents of Tembisilehane municipality will benefit from a reliable and sustainable water supply of 20 megaliters per day. In the meantime, the province, in collaboration with DWS and Rainwater, is exploring innovative ways to optimize water supply from existing infrastructure. Several critical infrastructure projects are underway to strengthen water and sanitation services. These include construction of the Gabosk Dam along with an extensive bulk pipeline in Amsterdam, and a state-of-the-art package plant with a significant bulk pipeline in Shipmore, located within Mkhondo municipality. The liquor sewer spillages and water access program, which comprises 10 projects, is designed to address sewer and water challenges in the municipality. This multifaceted approach is not only aimed at eliminating sewer spillages, but also ensures a reliable and sustainable water supply for all residents. In addressing aging infrastructure, we are replacing asbestos bulk lines from the water treatment plant to K-Lane Phase 2, as well as from the water treatment plant to the Bloemfontein Reservoir Phase 2 in Dr. J.S. Morocco. These projects are progressing very well. High-priority bulk water and sanitation projects supported by multi-year grants include the upgrading of the Leidenberg wastewater treatment works, which involve refurbishment of the existing 5.5 megaliters per day capacity and expansion to 1.1 to 11 megaliters per day to eliminate spillages into the Sabe River is halfway complete. At the Valbank water treatment work, a reverse osmosis plant is being constructed to address hard metals caused by mining pollution. With progress currently at 40%, Delma's wastewater treatment works is being upgraded from 4 megaliters per day to 12 megaliters per day, including the construction of a pre-treatment system, and this project is at 68% complete. The Driekopies Regional Bulk Water Scheme is being upgraded from 20 megaliters per day to 40 megaliters per day, with construction of approximately 40 kilometers of bulk pipeline and several reservoirs. Of the 4 work packages, 3 are fully completed, while the last is at 15% completion. This includes the upgrading of the Mkhuhlu wastewater treatment works, the Kamhlushwa water treatment works in Nyati, the Tabachwewu regional bulk water supply covering Leroro, Mativiti, Moremere, refurbishment and upgrading of the Kwaza Mokule wastewater treatment works, Emelo wastewater treatment works, Msukalikwa regional bulk water supply phase 1, the Chief Albert Little bulk water project, and Emalahleni regional bulk water scheme. Department of Water and Sanitation has completed the development of the Provincial Bulk Water and Sanitation Master Plan, providing a comprehensive framework for planning and implementing bulk infrastructure projects across the province. Land invasion remains a significant barrier to our vision of developing sustainable human settlement. The province is committed to assisting municipalities to implement strategies to address land invasion effectively, ensuring that development and environmental preservation go hand in hand. Upgrading informal settlement is essential to ensure that residents gain access to clean running water, waterborne sewage system, or ablution facilities, subsidize housing, and secure land tenure through title deeds. By the end of the third quarter of 2025-26, several informal settlements have been approved and are set to be fully proclaimed as townships by the 31st of March 2026. This will allow municipal engineering services to be installed, top structures to be built, and title deeds to be delivered. In Kangala, 32 townships have been approved and proclaimed, yielding 36,652 stands. In Gersbande, 7 Spuma township approvals have been granted, with 2 more expected before the end of March 2026. This settlement will yield 2,143 stands, plus an additional 563 stands. In Ehlazeni, 1 township has been approved and proclaimed, yielding 5,708 stands. We are also creating new housing opportunities through greenfield projects to respond to the province housing backlog using the Human Settlement Development Grant. In Kangala, 10 greenfield township projects have been approved to be proclaimed by March 2026, with a combined yield of 43,677 stands. In Gersbande, 3 Spuma township approvals will yield 10,849 new housing opportunities once municipal engineering services are complete. Social and economic facilities are also being prioritized for the 2026 financial year, We plan to construct one economic social amenity at Bushbuckridge local municipality in the form of a community hall at Akornuk. Madam Speaker, we have handed over 3 state-of-the-art completed social amenities projects, a community hall, and early childhood development center in Tunda, in Komas. Community hall and ECD center in Delmas, Victor Kanya. And ECD center in Mpumalanga, in Emalahleni local municipality. To ensure economic empowerment through secure tenure, we planned to deliver 1,000 title deeds in 2025-26, but we have surpassed this target by delivering 1,674 title deeds across the province. We aim to register and deliver 2,500 more title deeds in 2026-27. In the 2026-27 financial year, we plan to deliver 1,763 low-cost housing units in both formal township and rural areas. Additional, under the eradication of unsafe and uninhabitable housing program, 193 housing units will be built in Mkondo, Chief Albert Lituli, and in Komas. Will continue replacing 322 asbestos roofed houses in Tembisilahane, Tabacheu, and Victor Kanya municipalities. In the 2025-26, Madam Speaker, the department successfully reconstituted and gazetted traditional councils in the province under Section 16 of the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act, except for 5 councils with leadership vacancies. We must have to pay special attention, MEC Mashilo. We also constructed 5 new traditional council offices at Matsamo, Amashangan, Mahlapahlapa, KwaDwalaza, and Ongonyanen, while renovating 8 offices at Mpakeni, Msogwava, Lugedlan, Nkambeni, Mdluli, Mjindi, Makosonge, Westbill, King's Cluster, Harudi, and Esandlin. For the 2026-27 financial year, the department planned to construct 3 new traditional council offices at Lekgutla, Harudi, and Esandlin. 2 offices in Kuyengwa and Ebutswini will be renovated, while fencing and paving will be installed at 4 offices, namely Stare, Tabahulu, Mashilan, and Makosonke Westbili boundary wall. Madam Speaker, through tackling corruption, promoting social cohesion, protecting critical infrastructure, and improving service delivery, we are building a state that works for all. We are transforming government at all levels through professionalization of public service, building responsive state institutions, ensuring municipality accountability, and strengthening anti-corruption measures. The district development model is producing tangible results. Our strategic intent of integrating all plans from all spheres of government in the 3 districts has produced 255 catalytic projects to the value of 131.8 billion rand. Madam Speaker, a healthy nation depends on a healthy workforce, which in turn relies on healthy individuals and communities. This is a key driver of economic growth, social stability, and prosperity. A healthy nation enjoys low worker absenteeism, highly committed employees, and generally happy citizens. I'm proud to report that the ANC-led government has fulfilled the majority of the commitment we made last year. And in several areas, we have exceeded our own targets. Where challenges have arisen, we have not retreated. Instead, we have developed clear remedial plans to address shortcomings and accelerate service delivery. Neonatal mortality rate. Babies who die within 28 days of birth in our facilities has dropped from 8 per 1,000 in 1994 to 13.6 per 1,000 in the second quarter, 2025-26. This means that we are saving more lives than before. Maternal mortality rate, women's death during pregnancy, while giving birth or within 42 days after giving birth remains a challenge. However, we are intensifying awareness campaign and encourage early clinic visit during pregnancy. Mpumalanga is on course to achieve all United Nations 95 HIV/AIDS targets. Efforts will continue to reach and exceed targets for those defaulting on treatment. The peer review shows 286 out of 290 clinics have attained ideal clinic standard. However, we will continue with the implementation of quality improvement plan so that all hospitals meet ideal hospital standard. Last year, in the Department of Health, we committed to fill vacancies in hospitals and clinics. 2,024 healthcare professionals and 121 doctors have been appointed across the 3 districts. As indicated earlier, 27 doctors are permanently placed in primary healthcare facilities. We are bringing doctors to where people live, improving timely access to care, reducing unnecessary referrals to hospital. We are promoting primary health care. Mental health care remains a serious challenge. Statistics show many citizens experience depression or anxiety disorders at some point. To strengthen mental health services, we have appointed registered counselors, social workers, clinical psychologists, and occupational therapists have been deployed to community health centers and surrounding clinics. Social infrastructure, clinics, and hospitals not only improve the quality of life, but also drive economic growth by enhancing human capital, employment, and addressing poverty and inequality. Last year, 1.7 billion was allocated to health infrastructure, with 183 million rand for maintenance of existing facilities, Mapulaneng Regional Hospital is planned for completion this year. It will no longer appear on our SOPA. Other ongoing projects include Kwamhlanga Hospital Maternity Unit, new Troya Clinic, new Dafris Clinic, MN Sindi Clinic, Babaton Clinic, Alexandria Clinic, Lebgang Clinic, Vesbuhle Clinic, Kenros Clinic, Langkloof Clinic, Lefiswane Clinic, and the upgrade of Siabuswa CHC. Madam Speaker, we are pleased with the announcement by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa that the special relief dispensation grant will be extended. We are equally pleased by the STARS finding that all our social grants combined have drastically reduced the poverty rate in our province. We'll continue to support the most vulnerable in our communities and further contribute to poverty alleviation. The era of get-rich schemes fueled by social media and speculative investments cannot replace the lasting value of education and skills development. Education provides sustainable livelihood, career resilience that no temporary scheme can offer. Education is the royal road to success. Our government invests billions annually in education to equip learners with skills for a changing world. Our campaign, Ranza Xikolo Xa Wena, leave no one behind, #Babize bonke, ensures that no learner is excluded. Early childhood development remains a top priority, forming the foundation for lifelong learning. Children exposed to ECD are more likely to succeed academically and socially. Over 70,000 children are subsidized to access ECD programs through 1,300 registered community centers, while 69,221 grade R learners are enrolled in public school through the school health services. 18,287 grade R learners have been screened for barriers to learning. The program of professionalizing grade R educators is bearing fruits, with 1,729 out of the total of 2,034 being qualified. To improve reading for meaning, thousands of foundation phase teachers have been trained in reading strategies for English and African languages. As part of our efforts to retain and improve the learning capacity, 67,221 learners are benefiting from scholar transport, while over 1 million learners benefit from the no-fee schools policy and school nutrition program. As a result, through output rate, that is learners starting grade R and completing matric, has improved to 67%. We are number 2 in the country, which is above the national rate of 64%. This is a remarkable achievement. As part of promoting Ubunhle Buzile e-learning program in our rural school, government has distributed 60,000 tablets to grade 12 learners. And we are rolling out tablets to 80,000 grade 10 learners. I know that Deputy Minister of Basic Education, you are here. One day you told the President this good story. Indeed, it's a very good story. This is our story to share with the people of Mpumalanga. Multiple sanitation, water, classroom expansion, and school construction projects are underway or completed, often in partnership with businesses. In the previous State of the Province address, we made a firm commitment to prioritize the upgrading and replacement of 53 aging community-built schools across our provinces. I'm pleased to report that we have already commenced with the construction of 29 new schools, of which 10 will replace the old community-built schools. This means now we have 43 schools remaining under this commitment. During the current financial year, an additional 10 schools will be constructed, including the much anticipated school for the deaf and blind, Kuzobunya Il2. To further fast-track progress, we are introducing a special program to build 10 more schools implemented in phase 6, each comprising 2 blocks of 8 classrooms. Through this accelerated approach, we are steadily eliminating old and unsuitable learning environment and restoring dignity to our learners and educators. Gender-based violence and femicide remain a grave concern in our province and across the country. Statistics are deeply worrying, and the President has declared it as a national disaster. We are becoming a nation at war with itself, with violence occurring inside our bedrooms, dining rooms, and kitchens, and sometimes even extending into our workplaces. The rising number of murders committed by intimate partners is both concerning and unacceptable. GBV and femicide destroy families and communities. Behind every statistic is a woman or a child whose life may never be the same. Families are left to cope with psychological trauma, often manifesting as depression, anxiety, self-isolation, and a sense of worthlessness and anger. Mpumalanga has taken a leading role in scaling up the response to combat the scourge of GBVF. In the past 9 months alone, 2,048 victims of crime and violence have accessed psychosocial support services. Awareness campaigns have reached 68,457 people across the province, conducted in collaboration with our stakeholders that include the NPA, the Hawks, SAP, civil society structures, and all provincial departments to ensure victims receive security and protection. The province funds 22 victim support centers run by NPOs with 2 shelters owned by government. I am pleased to report that Mpumalanga has met the 2022 pronouncement of the Honorable President that each province should have a shelter in every district. In fact, our province has more than 2 shelters per district. During the 2025-26 financial year, 494 victims were accommodated in these shelters, including 23 victims of human trafficking. Additionally, the province is working closely with the National Gender-Based Violence Command Center, and communities are using this toll-free number to report cases, with 26 reports received in the past 9 months. We are also preparing to roll out the GBVF Brigades project which will assign 554 youth to 90 police precincts to assist with GBVF programs. These brigades will conduct community assessment on the prevalence of GBVF cases, make referrals, and promote awareness programs. While GBV often happens behind closed doors, there is always a friend, a relative, or a neighbor who may be aware of a potential violent situation. We urge our communities not to ignore the signs of GBVF that are visible to all. We cannot continue with an attitude that says, izindaba zabantu thina asizingeni. Impi yomndeni ayingenwa. Turning a blind eye is not nation building. Madam Speaker, our culture and creative industry is of critical importance to us and is one of the vital components of our economic drivers in the province. It fosters social cohesion, promotes innovation, and supports micro, small, and medium industries, and contributes significantly to our tourism. Our signature events, like Mpumalanga Cultural Experience, celebrate our rich cultural heritage, artistic excellence, and diverse tradition. The events attract people from inside and outside the province. Our capacity to host big sporting events such as rugby, soccer games, and gold panning have been proven beyond doubt. The province will be building the sport arena here in Mbombela to promote indoor sports and better conferencing facilities. What we are lacking and we are working on it is the International Conference Center. We are currently preparing an investment package that will be attractive to potential investors. Madam Speaker, for the first time in our province history, Mpumalanga will host a global sanctioned professional tennis event under the banner of the International Tennis Federation, alongside a nationally sanctioned event by Tennis South Africa. The Mbombela Open will deliver a series of events across the 2026 season, firmly positioning tennis as a new and sustainable tourism market for Mpumalanga. Players from over 26 countries will converge in our beautiful province, while local players are also given access to compete at home soil at the world-class level. Madam Speaker, it is with great honor to announce the inaugural Premier's Cup that will build up from School Sport League that features young talents in soccer and netball, both at schools and out of school for the first time. The apex of this tournament will be a Premier Cup competition to be hosted at the Solomon Mahlangu Stadium in the Tembisa local municipality during the PSL off-season. The competition will feature the 4 professional and semi-professional teams from our province, showcasing local talent and strengthening the development of football in Mpumalanga. We are also proud of the remarkable strides demonstrated by our 2 local teams, TX Galaxy FC and Castric FC, following their qualification for the quarterfinals of the Netball Cup. If you want to learn how to beat Orlando Pirates and Sundowns, come to Mpumalanga. The escalating geopolitical tensions between the USA, Israel, and Iran reached a critical peak as witnessed in the past weekend. This conflict has immediate and severe implications for South Africa's economy and international standing. President Ramaphosa has condemned the illegal and provocative strikes, calling for an immediate UN-led dialogue. We have seen Iran losing its supreme leader, Khamenei, and other senior officials, while USA also lost some of its military members. These tensions have direct impact on the South African economy, as our fuel prices may increase, currency volatility with the rand facing renewed selling pressure to the dollar, and travel disruptions as international flights were cancelled at OR Tambo, Cape Town, King Shaka airports due to airspace closure over the UAE and Qatar, which will affect international business trading and tourism in South Africa. Madam Speaker, we have taken important decisions to drive strategic evidence-based development. I will appoint a Premier's advisory panel of eminent experts to guide us on strategic investment intervention, trade, and provincial economic development. Our partnership with the University of Mpumalanga, especially on agricultural production, research, and human capital development, is a game changer. Mpumalanga will never be the same again. Our total investment on our economic and social infrastructure over the medium-term period will exceed 4 billion. We want to see improvement in maternal mortality rate and as a significant increase in the number of hospitals that have reached an ideal hospital standard. We'll continue to build more clinics, additional classrooms, and new schools, particularly in areas experiencing rapid population growth, to ensure that our people have access to quality health care and education services closer to where they live. This year, our country will hold local government elections, and we expect all municipalities to be fully prepared to ensure that the process is conducted efficiently, lawfully, and transparently. I'm saying this year, we are going to hold election, not next year, this year. And I'm not the president, but I know that this year we're going to have elections. Listening to the address of the president, we're going to have elections this year. We must start preparing. There shall be no compromise on municipalities that are failing in their core responsibility to deliver basic services to our communities. For the 2026-27 financial year, a total of 1.4 billion from the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant and Water Services Infrastructure Grant has been earmarked to fund additional high-priority projects. New project planned for 26-27 financial year include the Kamhlushwa Package Plant with bulk sewer and water lines in Komazi Local Municipality, the Brandon Village Bulk Water and Sewer Line in Govenbeki Local Municipality, and the Hospital View Access Roads with bulk sewer and water lines in Bushbuck Ridge Local Municipality. We must find a better way of dealing with GBVF and femicide. We'll mobilize our communities against crime and GBVF and make this catch a #1 priority. Madam Speaker, anyone who wants to deny that the ANC-led government in this province has made enormous strides on a number of fronts is suffering from self-denial. However, we all know that the sound of one tree falling does sometimes drown the evidence of 1,000 trees that are silently growing. But we're not going to stop planting more trees of progress and development just because of that one noisy tree. The challenges facing our people remain the lived experience: unemployment, poverty, flood damage, drought, water shortages, and many others. The statistics I have presented to you today show that these challenges are being attended to, and there is serious progress. These challenges must not lead us to despair. They should inspire us to work even harder and employ collaborative approach that will produce tangible, positive results. Our work of building a better Mpumalanga remain unfinished. This will only be accomplished if all of us can one day look back with pride and satisfaction and declare that in Mpumalanga, no child goes to bed on an empty stomach. No baby or mother dies before, during, or after labor on our healthcare facilities. No young person is left behind on skills development and technological advancement. No citizen is deprived of his or her human rights, including clean pipe water, dignified sanitation, electricity, and safe and secure environment. No girl child misses school because of lack of sanitary towels. Economic benefits of Mpumalanga are shared by all those who live in the province. The land is also shared by all our citizens. Jobs are created, and small and informal businesses are supported and thriving. And corruption is uprooted from our government. Working harder and smarter, united by our common purpose and our single-mindedness and a vision of prosperous Mpumalanga, we can and we shall overcome our obstacles and build a better province. My fellow public representatives, government officials, and captains of both large and small industries, I invite you to begin now to work diligently in Mpumalanga. When the sun rises, we must rise with it, committed to work hard for the progress and prosperity of our province. As an old African proverb reminds us, that dawn does not come twice to wake a person. A new beginning calls on us to rise with purpose, courage, and shared determination to shape our future together. Svaganyana se, limususunyana o, mudimo, urifile. God bless Africa. God bless South Africa. God bless Mpumalanga, our province. Mudimo, urifile. Svaganyana se, le motsotsonyana ho ngiyabonga.
Parties go in 2029. No, I am agreeing with the previous battalion.
Thank you, Honorable Premier, for the well-delivered state of the province address. The Honorable Premier and Honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to luncheon at the marquee next to exit the gate of Riverside Government Complex. Honorable members and distinguished guests are requested to remain at their places until the procession has left the chamber. That concludes the business for the day. The House is adjourned until Tuesday, the 10th of March 2026 at 2:15 in this very same chamber.
All rise.